Welcome to Forum 360. I'm your host, Leia Love, where we have a global outlook from a local view. Today we have Ms. Shcarra Benn, who is the owner of Creative Leo Designs, and she's going to talk to us about how she is impacting the Northeast Ohio community with art. Hello, Ms. Shcarra Benn. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So tell me a little bit about Creative Leo Designs.
So Creative Leo Designs is a design company that focuses on a lot of different areas, but mainly trying to give back to the community by dedicating a percentage of all its revenue to go back to the community.
Awesome. So how is the revenue distributed throughout the community?
Well, our goal is to get back 15%, and we do that by doing free art classes and scholarships.
Okay. So you do what all services do you do with your company?
We do full service graphic design, web design, event planning for corporate and nonprofit and special occasions such as weddings, graduations, anniversaries, you name it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is your mission and passion behind starting your company?
My mission was that knowing creativity was a part of my life growing up, and I do feel that I would not be the person I am without having that creative push from my teachers in school, from my parents, and them immersing me in different arts growing up. And I knew that that still needed to be in our community. I do believe that everybody has a creative passion inside of them. We all have creativity, and without creativity, the world would not be what it is now. We would have not evolved in any of the things that we kind of do on a day-to-day basis, from our cell phones to how we dress and our fashion, how our fashion may go back to fashion's time ago. So I do feel that we all live amongst a lot of creative beings, and without that growth being added to it, that we won't have creative in the future. So that's why we want to give back to and scholarships to make sure that our future creatives can move forward and create new things, and maybe one day we will be actually flying in hovercrafts.
Oh, you want to fly around in a hover?
Why not? You know, we'll see.
So just a little bit on your journey of becoming an entrepreneur. What was that like? Was it scary? What made you finally jump out and decide to do it?
Absolutely. It was absolutely scary, but I had to dig deep down inside myself and realize that this is something that I can do, and I do have something to share with the communities that we serve. What pushed me to do it was my friends and family. I've been doing this for 9 years, and they've recognized my talents and knew that, hey, you should take another step. And although I was at first nervous, I realized that through research and learning a few things business-wise, that, you know, this is something that I can do, and I shouldn't stop myself from doing it. And so on August 9th, I decided to launch the business finally into the community. And I actually had a great time. I was nervous, but now I'm not. Now I'm ready to get into the community and meet everyone, get my art classes going, and just start doing a lot of creative things in the community.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so you mentioned that you wanted to focus more on the community versus what my mind might think of going into a school or another area that you could go into. What made you decide to do community-based versus any other area?
Well, I figured that the community, they have art classes at community centers and things like that, and sometimes you have to pay for certain things. And if people have to pay for it, they may not be able to have access to it, because they may have to decide to choose that or versus paying for a yoga class or something that is health beneficial for them that they need to do to work on them. But art can also be a healthy source, stress reliever. Also, it finesses a person's natural pheromones to be happy. So I figured if I bring that to the community for free, I'll be able to reach as many people as possible, and persons won't have to decide on doing that or paying for like karate classes for their kids or anything like that. They can come as a family and enjoy this and create memories from just that moment and take away a piece that they can put in their home, and it goes back to that memory. Mm-hmm. I feel that as an event planning company, and we could create designs and web, we're creating memories throughout individuals' lives. So I figured if we have free community classes, they'll have something to remember that they did as a family or individually. Or you may have someone who's in their middle age and they decide that they want to start having some me time. And they may come to enjoy the art class because of that. But that's still a memory of time, and in that moment of time, they're at ease. So that's why I decided to focus on that. And also decided that I wanted to look at the workplace community, because I used to manage a company. I was a director of operations, and I do know that there's stress in the workplace. And it is very important to balance that out. So I wanted to also bring the classes to workplaces as well, to offer a balance. A lot of employers may offer counseling or different outlet services, and I would like to be a part of that collaboration and come into the workplace and do an art class, maybe during the lunch hour. That, again, creating memories is helping the employees relax and be more at ease in the workplace, especially in some strong, high-stress workplace places.
Absolutely. I do know that a lot of people are moving, especially with the mental health push,
Yes.
to really make sure that people are taking care of themselves, and therapy of different sorts is different sources is a really good way to help balance that out, to help combat that. So you offer free art classes. How are you able to offer free art classes?
Well,
And tell me about them. How does that go? What does that look like?
so I offer them, I'm able to offer them by making sure that I let everyone know up front that I work with, that a portion of what I'm doing is going to go back into that. I've had some organizations that I work with decide to donate more to that cause, because I let them know that 15% was going to go back. And they said, well, let's try to make it 25%, which is amazing. And with that being generated, I'm able to provide these art classes. These art classes will come with all the supplies. All individuals have to do is just show up and be ready to express themselves creatively. The class sessions are called Creative Art Expressions, and they are open to anyone, and you do not have to be skillful in art in any way. And all you have to do is just come and enjoy, and then you'll take away your piece. The classes are going to be held at community centers. Right now I'm partnering with the Cleveland Clinic. I'm going to be doing their 8-week health challenge. I'm in their Tri-City challenge, and I'm also in their Glenville Huff challenge as well. So I'll be doing classes with them. I'm going to be doing classes on Mondays and Wednesdays. The kickoff was last week, and the week before for the other location.
And
So
anybody can come to those?
anybody can come to those as long as they register with the Cleveland Clinic
Okay.
and they complete the assessment process to become part of the challenge. They have to get some screenings and things like that, because they track your blood pressure and things like that during the challenge. And those are on Mondays and Wednesdays at 2 separate locations in Cuyahoga County. One's at South Point Hospital, and the other one's at the Louis Stokes Cleveland Clinic building.
Okay.
And so I decided, I wanted to touch back, yes, in the community, but this was a great opportunity because it also is all our classes are designed towards health, which I never knew that I would be entering that. So it challenged me, but I came up with 6 art classes that are going to take place through this series. I'm really excited about that. Today is the first class.
Now, are the 6 classes the same, or do they have different themes or different things that you're going to work on in each class or session?
Yes, they have different themes, and each one is geared as a stepping stone per se to get them through the challenge. The first art class today, this week for both sessions, are going to focus on reflection. What do we see when we look in the mirror? And as Michael Jackson will say, the man in the mirror, So what do we see? How can we be that change that we want to be? And what is the change that we want to see? Well, when we look in the mirror, we are connecting with ourselves and have to change through this challenge and be able to address completing their challenge. So that is their first art project.
Okay. And then what are the other ones?
The second one is going to be a journal.
Okay.
They're going to design the journal and create the journal, though. And it's a way for them to jot down daily some of the challenges that they may have to overcome. I know for personally, one of mine will have to be no fast food. I probably have to write that every day in that journal because that's something that with my lifestyle is going to affect me. The third one is going to be taking a look at what do you love and who do you love? And so there's a picture frame, and I requested everyone bring a picture, but not of themselves, but of one person that as to why they're doing this challenge. I told them that we're all going to do this challenge, but it's for one reason that you're really trying to do the challenge. And who is that for, or what is it for? It may be that you want to get in that bathing suit. It may be. So we're going to look at that and figure out why and who and what you want to do this for. But write the reasons behind it as well, and they're also going to create the frame as well. The other one has to do with looking back. So they're going to create T-shirts. The front of the T-shirt is going to be the person they are now at this point in this challenge, the person they're going to become in this challenge, which is their futuristic self. The back of the shirt is going to be the past. As you know, if the person turns away from you and walk away, you're going to see their back. So we're not going to look back anymore. We're going to move forward with who we are now. So they're going to decorate the shirt to say, this is who I am now, who I want to become. These are the changes that I have made in my life. This is my past. Mm-hmm. We're not going to look back in the past because it's behind us.
Right.
And that is the combination of the shirts designs.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the sessions, we're going to have an art show finale at the finale event. And I'm going to bring in some local art judges to judge, not just strenuously, because again, this is just people expressing themselves, but so we can pick some winners and give away some prizes. And we're going to sponsor 2 individuals, one from each session, and they're going to win a big art package, one that they can take with them and move forward with their personal art. So those are the classes in a nutshell.
Wow, those sound amazing.
Yes, I'm excited about them.
Yeah.
Really excited.
There's a lot of touch points in developing yourself and your creativity, but when you know yourself a little bit better and you're able to be more confident in that, you are able to go out and be more inspirational and have more hope and have more drive and determination to do the things that you would like to do.
Yes.
If you are just tuning in, I am talking to Ms. Shcarra Benn, the owner of Creative Leo Designs, and she's talking to us about how she's using art to impact our Northeast Ohio community. So, what sets your company apart from all the other graphic design companies that we have?
Well, besides me, I would like
What's
to.
about yourself?
I would like to say that I feel that what sets us apart is that I have a personal touch. One of my beliefs is that you should treat people how you want to be treated. And so having said that, I normally treat everybody like family. And so I go with that approach because sometimes when you're designing something, a person may not know what they want initially. They may be driving past something, have a second thought, and need to call me and say, oh, I changed my mind. That doesn't mean I need to charge them for that. Mm-hmm. I believe in creative thought. I believe in the process of it. And so I think what sets me apart is that I'm willing to work with everyone that I come into contact with to get their final product. And it doesn't require them to have to pay for different changes or anything like that, because it's a creative process and I believe and support that. The other thing is that some design companies, they may be able to do event planning, but they may not be able to do graphic design. They may not be able to do web design. So we're a full service design company because we can not only plan your event, we can design your t-shirts for your event, your media for your event, market your event as well, and help you reach as many people as you would like to reach by doing that. But we're also a hands-on company. So a lot of things can be created, creative art expressions to make. So no, you don't have to order your centerpieces. Maybe I can make them. I'm also about breaking down the value, getting more value for the money that we may have, for the budget that is set. How can we utilize that? In addition to that, my green aspect to the company is how are we going to use these products after the event? Can they be repurposed in a way that maybe someone else can maybe use them, or maybe can it be given back to different areas in the community that may be in need of things, such as centerpieces can also be, depending on what type of centerpiece, can be given to certain nursing homes and things like that for their cafeteria and eating area, and that alone might brighten up their day. But versus sitting in that person's basement. So I bring a different outside of the box look to how to work with new designs. And so one of the things we focus on is creatively designing new boundaries, because we all have those fine lines and boxes that we sometimes live in. And I've broken out of the box, and I'm ready to create new organic boxes in the community.
Awesome. Let's break out of the box. Do you have any upcoming events that anybody should be aware of?
Yes. So currently, I'm planning And I Rise Up Women's Conference. It's going to be in January in Cuyahoga County. The location is not set, but follow-up can be also viewed on my website.
Okay. And what's your website?
creativeleodesigns.com.
Okay. And so if somebody wants to contact you and they want to know what the process is of being creative or coming up with their event and things like that, what would that process look like?
That process looks like I do a free 1-hour consultation, and we discuss what it is you want to creatively express. Whether it's an event, whether you need a t-shirt, whether you're a small business starting up and you need to figure out what is my logo going to look like and how and why. So we can meet in person, we can speak over the phone, we can Skype, whichever is best fit for them. After we come up with that creative process, I go to work. So I'm going to be looking at the time turnaround that's necessary as well. So we go through the consultation to figure out when you're going to need this product or when you're going to need the event done or things like that. And then we make a booking, and then after that, start sending you samples. I create vision boards for all the events that I do. I also create timelines for all the events that I do as well, so that things are in place accordingly, especially dealing with other vendors. I make sure that the caterer is in the loop of things, or the lighting person is in the loop of things of that nature. But they can find all the information out on the website as well. And pricing is also on the website as well. And all services right now are 20% off.
Awesome. Special incentive for our guests today. So what would you say your average turnaround time is?
For design services, a t-shirt design, my average turnaround is 24 hours.
Okay.
Depending on if it's a more detailed design, maybe 48 hours. Website design turnaround time is at least a week minimum.
Okay.
But again, if there's maybe about 20 more pages or things like that, a little longer. And then if it's an event, it depends on what key components to the event, but everything does have a turnaround time that's set to it through the process of the event, and that's given on an event timeline.
Gotcha. Going through with your consultation, you'll be able to understand all of that. So what have been some of the issues that you encounter on your end that kind of impede you from being as effective as you could with the customer? So maybe this is something that they could learn, be able to have together before they get to you to help that process go a little bit smoother.
Well, I would have to say that sometimes my customers may think that I'm not creative, I don't know what I want, or I can't. And I would say that sometimes I have to open that up. And that's a process to try to open up that creative being that is in all of us, because they had an idea, which is why they contacted us to begin with. And they say, well, I saw it, I liked it, but that's all I know. Well, what colors are you looking for? How do you want it to appear? What room, when you walk into the room, do you want to say, wow? Do you want your breath taken away? Do you want to feel that it is intimate? So sometimes that those questions are added to the process just a little bit, but I encourage everyone before contacting anyone to just realize that you are creative too. And our creative energy is what's making this process come together. So you don't have to worry about being a perfect creative or anything like that, because that doesn't exist. We are all organic creatives, and our energy pushes and pulls from each other. So I think that sometimes that may impede on the design process, only because I want to make sure that I'm giving the product that they want. But again, sometimes people feel that I'm not as creative as you are, so I'm scared to say this or I'm scared to say that. A little song and dance may happen, but again, I'm supporting the creative process.
Yeah. I know as a hairstylist, I really focus on educating my clients, and I give them certain things that they should look for if they ever were to go to another stylist, or if they have to leave and go out of town and they're looking for a stylist. What would be some of the things that you would tell somebody to look for while they're searching and seeking out a graphic design artist?
The first thing I will have to say is that artist has to be willing to collaborate with you creatively. They should not try to push their ideas as if your idea you came to them with is not good, or is not complete, or that doesn't make sense, things like that. They should be willing to work with you to develop the vision that you had when you came to them. So I would say that they would have to be compassionate and have passion to the creative design process. They will also have to make sure they have the knowledge base to design what you're looking for. Sometimes a designer may say that they can create something, but you might want to ask them, what software do you use? What is your background in this design? Can I see some of your work? Have I seen your work? Things like that, because there's a lot of design software out there, and I'm not saying that I swear by Adobe, but I am saying that some design software cannot be best suitable for what you may need. And so in the end, you may have a produced product. While it might be great, it might not be the best, because it could have been better depending on the software. And that knowledge base is definitely important when you're doing graphics.
You know, one of the things I ran into once was I sent over a picture to have something done, and they had to blow up the picture, and it was super grainy, and they couldn't see it, which also happened again another time with my logo. And that was just a matter of them letting me know ahead of time that this pixel isn't right, and it needs to be in a certain, whatever you guys say.
Right.
Still don't know. But I learned to ask that question now. Is this picture okay? Can it be blown up and still not, look grainy? So those are, like you said, some of the things that you just don't know that you need to ask and look for with that. So I like that about the software. So you did mention about scholarships real quick in your model. So how can people apply for them, or how are they distributed?
So they can apply on the website.
Okay.
The applications are there for download, and then they have to do an email submission to the address in the application. So there are 4 scholarships. One is for mentoring. So I'm going to have 2 mentees who will work directly with me, who want to be creatives themselves in the future. They may be in high school, 11th or 12th grade, and want to major in something creative in college. And I want to help them grow that. I want them to go into college already confident in their field and confident in their skill set. When I went to college, I was not confident in my skill set. My major was interior design, and I was intimidated. And I knew that as the years got by, I got better with it. But I think if I would have went into college a little bit more confident, it would have made the experience different, just because interior design is a very, very competitive and major, and it takes a lot of work, and it's a lot of new things that you're learning. But I enjoyed it nonetheless. So I want to help 2 high school students be prepared for that step and journey. Then the other one is a creative writing scholarship. So I believe that, again, creativity is no boundaries to it, and writing is something that we all have come to love. It is something that dates back to the end of time, meaning that that we used to read things that are old, things that are new, and it helps you to understand, helps you captivate things better. So I do believe in creative writing. The other scholarships are for supplies. So if you're in high school going into college, I have a supply scholarship for those who are going to be creative majors. And then if you're in college, freshman through senior in college, I also have a supply scholarship as well. One of the things I learned in college is that supplies cost a great deal. And some semesters I had to figure out how to get my supplies, and I want to assist in that little hurdle.
Awesome. Well, I want to show you guys this real quick before we leave. This is an example of one of her t-shirts. That you can see is just absolutely beautiful. And this is a booklet that she did as well. So if you have anything that needs to be done for your event, like she said, she is multi-talented.
Yes.
She does amazing, great work, and just very professional to work with. So I want to thank you again for coming and joining us today. I am your host, Leia Love. Thank you for tuning in to Forum 360, where we have a global outlook from a local view. Have a great weekend.
Forum 360 is brought to you by John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Akron Community Foundation, Hudson Community Television, the Rubber City Radio Group, Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron, Blue Green, Electric Impulse Communications, and Forum 360 supporters.